we all get AP bills and you've got to enter them. Some have, a couple lines maybe, and some have 15, 20, 25 line items. It's a lot of manual entering here. Okay. And so Acumatica has AP document recognition where we can drag and drop PDFs into our incoming document screen, as you can see here, and it will recognize the bill and start to create the bill for us. Give me 1 second. Let me drag these APs over here. All right. So I'm going to drag this PDF over. It's going to bring it in, and we're going to click on that PDF. And within this screen, as you can see, it's bringing up the PDF on the right, and we're going to hit recognize. System's going to do its thing, and what it's doing here is it's using, machine learning, AI, to go through and strip and parse out this document and find the fields that it needs to see and find to complete this. So this is not a very huge, complex bill, but it's got a couple line items and a couple fields that we really need to verify and check here. So it's picked up the vendor. It's validated upon bringing that up that is a vendor for that company, and okayed that. It's got our branch. It's got our due date. It's got our vendor reference number. It didn't pick up anything specific on a description, and that's fine because there's probably not one in here. But as you see down at the bottom, we also picked up our line items. So in this incoming document screen here, we have a lot of functionality that's very easy to use. So the AI and the machine learning are going through this document, and it's trying to pick up the fields that it knows it needs. So we could have extremely complex documents and some that are pretty easy like this. The system is going to pick up based off of that vendor and the document that you brought in, and it's going to assess on that basis. It understands that not every document's the same, the layout's the same, the fields are not the same. So Acumatica has made it very simple to work around through this. So the vendor reference number here, we're going to click on this, and as you can see, it's highlighted in the document what it is pointing to and what is selecting that. So we can easily see and change if we need something different. Let's see, that's not the best, but in this scenario, so if it's picking this up, and for this instance, this is correct, but say I wanted it to pick up a different field, all I would need to do is I click this, it's highlighted that, and I can just select a different field and have that point to it. And I know that's incorrect, but it's the example that we're just using here. And if that is something that needs to be changed, the machine learning access of Acumatica is not going to say, okay, that was one time and we need to set that in stone. It is going to take, if you need to make changes throughout the document of what the data that you need to pick up and the vendor reference and the due date and things like that, it is going to take 3 or 5 times of going through that document and pointing that out on average is what we're seeing. And then the AI and machine learning will go, okay, that's not an accident. That's what they want. And it will start picking that up, and then it will start making those selections as the document comes in. And again, it's basing that off of a couple combination things of the vendor and the bill that you're using. So it's not going to make this a static for everything that you bring in selection. It realizes and picks up on the document type and the vendor and matches those together, and then it's storing these selections that you're making to keep it that way. So the tool does very well about picking up the things that it needs to, and it really does a very good job of that. But there are some things that you might not want it to pick up totally for what it's doing. Select this back. So here is an instance that I do kind of see sometimes already, is this total field right here. As you can see, this amount is getting pulled in, but there might be times that I've also seen a 2 different total lines here, and we want to select the second one. The AI is doing a very good job to pick up that total, but we might want to move it to that next line. And so again, just a couple of times of programming and affirming that to the AI and machine learning side of this, and it will start picking up if we wanted to move that to there. Again, down here, on our grid with our line items that we have. You can see that as I select a field, it's highlighting and showing me what it is. But we can also, in this scenario, we can link these to our PO. And so when we create that bill, it'll have that link and connection for further down the chain here, and have all of that set up and connecting and ready to validate. So if I hit save and continue here, it will take this information and go, okay, this is what we want. And it's going to then take all of this into the AP bill screen and populate everything for you to double verify and validate and save and create a bill. So all we did was drag and drop a PDF. We monitored a couple cells to make sure everything looked good. And then we said, yep, go ahead, bring it over. And now we've got this bill in here. Again, 10, 15, 20 plus line items. This is hugely beneficial and time consuming for time after time of having to do that. It's a very, very good feature that we're seeing a lot of people pick up and gain traction on now that it's been out in the last 2 releases. So huge ground has been made here, and extremely beneficial to all users. And again, then we can save and our bills created, and we can go down the line as we need to, like normal.